Mm-mm. Yay! We are live!
Sorry we're a little bit late. Sorry. We were having
Yeah,
technical
we
difficulties.
experienced some technical difficulties with getting it on the new channel and shenanigans like that, and then nobody could join, and it was just a lot of
An
chaos.
abundance of technical difficulties.
Yes, absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, so we are here to start our City of Bones live show for the Let's Read Along channel. This month we read, of course, City of Bones. I didn't finish.
It's all right.
But so we are going to be discussing the first book in the Mortal Instruments series, and we are super excited, especially since Shadowhunter started, and yeah, it's really cool going back and revisiting the world. So.
Okay, so do you just want to start with some of the questions we had and then see if some other people post some while we're answering these?
Yeah, and
throughout
the show, there is a Q&A option for you guys. You can go and, like, click it. It's, like, on that side of the screen-ish, where you can, like, type in your questions, and we will answer anything you guys have for us and thoughts, whatever. It doesn't even have to relate to the Mortal Instruments, really. You can just ask us questions.
You can ask us stuff about the TV show, too, if you want.
Yeah, because we were going to do a live show for episodes 2 and 3, but we didn't have time. Life got a little insane.
It's hard to get everybody's schedule on the same thing.
Yeah.
So feel free to ask us questions. So you want to go ahead and pull up the questions you had, Megan?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I'm really going to butcher this first name. It's like Yagaseles Rodriguez, I don't know. But she asked, did you ever find any of the characters annoying? She's first reading the series, and she was just mentioning that she kind of found Simon annoying at the beginning, but then not at the end, and that she didn't like Isabel sometimes. So that's interesting to see from a first-time reader's perspective.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I'll start and then we'll like go down the road. Is that what you want to do?
Works for me.
Okay.
Sure.
I kind of feel like it's hard to answer that since it is the second time going through, so we know the characters. So I really can't pinpoint anybody that like annoyed me off the top of my head. Maybe somebody did, but I can't really think right now.
I think whenever I first read through, Simon bothered me sometimes because I just got frustrated with him sometimes, but I loved him all the same. Like, I understood, like, him and, like, why he was the way he was, but, like, sometimes he aggravated me. If we're just talking the first book, that is, then.
Yeah.
Because there's other characters later on that I was like, just please go die.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we definitely can. This will have spoilers. Sorry, this will definitely have spoilers. But it will only have spoilers for this first book, since I know that there are 2 people that are going to be watching that asked us questions that have only read the first book. So just to make sure we don't say anything, too.
Yeah.
Because there's more people that haven't read it than I realized.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot, like, less than I had anticipated.
Chelsea, did anybody annoy you?
I don't feel like anyone really annoyed me. I always liked Simon, but I like cheesy, goofy, nerdy people anyway. Maybe a little bit of Alec because he seemed like such a downer all the time, but no one like really, really bugged me.
Yeah.
Side note, Chelsea, your little tagline is hysterical.
That was my favorite. Can we talk about that really fast? Let's talk about Chelsea's tagline, not a golden retriever. Go ahead, Chelsea.
Okay. Well, that's like my favorite line in the book when Clary and Luke are driving. I don't remember where they were driving to, but she's like, you can hang your head out the window if you want to. And he's like, I'm not a golden retriever. I'm a werewolf. And it's just...
I love that part, too.
It's so good.
I love
It's just so perfect.
Okay, so the next one is from, she's actually a booktuber, so we'll give her a little shout out. I didn't know she was a booktuber, so I just found her channel and subscribed to. But her name is Strange Shelly.
I love
Oh yeah.
And she asked us 2 questions, so I'll just answer, or I'll just ask the first one first. Do you think we will get to see more friendship development between Clary and Alec? Because I know he's not really a fan of hers, but I don't know. I enjoy reading about friendships, and since they both like Jace, I think that would be awesome. So okay, so I think she's asking, do we think that Alec and Clary's relationship will become more of a friendship since they're kind of bickering with each other in the first book?
They bicker a lot.
This one is this is definitely like, we can't say like something that's a big spoiler with one of those characters.
Let's just say
that
it's
she
looking
knows
up.
the first time she's reading it. So I don't think she understands why Alec doesn't like Clary.
Yeah.
But you definitely will find out why Alec doesn't like Clary Shelley, and they become friends, but they don't have like a strong friendship.
No, they really don't. They don't have a strong relationship, but they definitely, I feel like their relationship builds over them both caring about Jace. So
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like, didn't we find out in the first book, like, why
I think
Alec doesn't like her? No.
We did? Well,
was there more that I forgot? Other than the mutual...
There's just that spiel when they're in the Institute, and Clary says that one sentence and he pushes her up against a wall. But that's the only, like, hint we've got about Alec, so I don't know if a lot of people, like, catch that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because you can take it either way. You could take it as he's mad because it's true, or you could take it as he's mad because he's like, why the hell would you even think that? That's not true. You know?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure.
I always read it
she
as
thinks
true.
It that way. Okay, so are you guys good with that question?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
We don't want to say too much because we don't want to spoil you, Shelley. Like,
yeah. The second question she asked was, so Luke was a shadow hunter, and their blood is half human, half angel. Since he became a werewolf, is the angel blood still in him, or does it wipe away his shadow hunter-ness? And that's a good question.
That's an awesome question.
I don't know. That's like a Cassie Claire question.
But I kind of feel like it. Oh man, I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe it did kind of cancel out, but he still has his shadow hunter spirit. Does that make sense?
I mean, I don't feel like it would completely wipe everything away. You know, it's still in his DNA technically. You know what I mean?
True, but he has demon in the DNA now too. I don't know. Anybody else's theories?
I don't know.
The only way I figured that the angel blood would be canceled out is if, like, the demon blood from the, like, lycanthropy disease would cancel it out. But I don't know if that's how things work.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it works either. And they don't really ever say that, so...
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. Like, I never thought about that.
Maybe that it gets canceled out is just because, like, he can't use runes anymore. Like, they wouldn't work. So would that mean he doesn't have the angel blood anymore since his runes don't work? But I don't know.
Maybe.
I have no idea.
Or maybe the demon blood is more... The demon blood could be more, like, potent.
Yeah. We're just theorizing here because we
don't know. Like, that's never, like... resolved in the series. That's a question for Cassandra Clare.
Yeah.
Speak to her and ask her. She always is doing stuff where you can ask her, like, on Tumblr and stuff like that.
Yeah, she answers lots of questions.
Yeah, she does.
Allie, I love your tagline.
I changed it. You guys were all Shadowhuntery, and I was like, well, let's do this. That was like one of my favorite lines because that's how I drink
Yeah.
my coffee. So.
Okay. So what do we want to move on now? Just kind of our general thoughts?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
So I didn't finish, so but I read the books a couple times. I got distracted. I was supposed to pick it up, and then I bought Angel Fall by Susan E. And I was like, this sounds like a good time. Hey, it was about angels and stuff, so.
Sorry, I'm trying to tweet this really quick, just so
Tweet, 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 tweet.
people know what's going on.
Yeah, no.
I really liked rereading it. It was really fun to just like kind of start all over with everybody again. And there was a lot more that I forgot that happens, that like little things that you just forgot about that just really made me fall back in love with the world again. And seeing the characters like brand new again was just, it was cool. I really liked rereading it.
No, I agree. I feel like there's certain books, like I've reread a lot of books, but there's certain books that like when I reread them, I get super into, and this is always one that like whenever I've reread these, it's like reading them for the first time. Like even though I know what's going to happen, I still get even just as immersed into the world because I'm picking up these small things that I missed on my first read through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I know when I texted you on that, like, one description where it's like, Madame Dorothea is a big white woman, not a big black woman from New Orleans. New Orleans? New Orleans.
Nolans.
And I'm like, wait, what? I've read this 3 times, and I haven't noticed that yet.
Yeah. Well, I read it. This is my 3rd or 4th read through, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that either. And whenever you sent that to us, I was like, that's weird, because that's how I always pictured her. Like the one that they cast for the movie.
That's exactly how I pictured her.
Yes, me too. I was like, oh my god, what the heck?
Or me with the Chinese restaurant thing. Like, I was like, where am I getting a Chinese restaurant thing from? Because Luke and his little werewolf like clan are in a police station, and I totally forgot about the police station and thought they were in a Chinese restaurant. But it is a Chinese restaurant, but that's what the mundane see. It's a police station that's glamoured into, I think it's like Jade Wolf Chinese food or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I totally forgot about the police station. And yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed rereading it too. Like, I've read it twice before, I believe. And I tabbed it up. I just really like her writing. Even in the beginning books, I always liked her writing. And as a writer myself, I was all like, ooh, that's a cool description, or ooh, I like the way she said that. And
her writing style, I enjoyed it more, like, as I'm reading through it now, like, I've enjoyed it a lot more. I noticed little things like that, too. Like, she's got a really cool writing style, and I like her descriptions. I like the wittiness of, like, the conversation. And, like, as I'm reading through it, I'm, like, so... Okay, and you guys knew I wasn't that disappointed in Jace like you guys were. But, like, I'm getting more and more disappointed because I forgot how witty and the way he talks, like, the manner in which he speaks, I'm like, I miss my Jace, because there's something, like, the way he describes it, like, he has a formalness to the way he speaks, but yet he's incredibly sarcastic and witty, and I just, really sad now.
And he's much more, like, humorous than like the show is doing too. Like, he always says like funny things in the middle of a really dangerous situation, and you're like, oh, okay, come on, Jace. But then when he needs to be like joking, he's always like super serious, and he's like backwards. But his character development, I feel like, is one of the like most ridiculous character developments throughout a series. Him by the end of the series is just like, so much happens to him.
Oh, yeah.
So much happens with him.
I mean, he's probably the most tragic of all the characters. I mean, I won't go into spoilers because I'm thinking more of City of Ashes, but...
Well, I mean, like, Even just by the description in the beginning, whenever Clary first wakes up and she's asking like about why doesn't Jace live with his family, and Isabel's like, well, his mom died whenever he was born, and his dad was murdered in front of him when he was 10 years old. He watched everything. That alone sounds pretty traumatizing. So
Yeah.
he's got an effed up childhood. Are you eating a banana, Chelsea?
I'm hungry.
I can't remember. No one typed it in a comment, and I can't remember who was talking to me, and I think it was maybe on Twitter or something. But somebody was asking me or asking for us in this live show, like, what did we think about the end? What happened? Like, did we believe it, or did we like think that that was what was happening when we read them the first time?
I never believed it.
I like wanted to tell myself that I didn't believe it, but like I feel like in the back of my mind I was like kind of believing it because I was getting mad. I was like, no way, this is not happening. And then in the second book I was like, this is for real. They are freaking brother and sister, and I was like, this is for real. No way.
Well, I talked about this like with you guys. I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to be okay with incest.
Right?
I didn't believe it. Well, I spoiled myself because I was like, there's no effing way I'm going to keep reading this book if this is like legit true. Like, I was so mad. I was like, Cassandra Clare is the worst person on earth. Why would she do this to somebody? She built up all this like tension and chemistry between these two great characters, and then she tells me they're brother and sister. I was like, no, this is not right. So I was like, I Googled it. I was like, are they really brother and sister? And I spoiled myself. I was like, please, this can't happen. This can't happen.
Like, when I reread it
issues.
this time and we got to that part, it is it is explained so well that like I feel like people that did read it for the first time really would believe it, because when they're explaining how everything went down, and Valentine actually burned like Waylon and his kid and not really him and Jace, and like, you know what I mean? They like set it up where
Yeah.
Oh, it was thoroughly thought out. Like,
you really
Valentine's
believe
a
it.
clever asshole, so.
I think I was just in denial the whole time, and it just turned out in my favor.
Yeah.
Because, like, when Clary's, like, first in there and seeing, like, the first interactions between Jace and Valentine, which is so incredibly sad because he just looks like a teeny tiny little hurt puppy.
Yeah.
The way he's described, and it's so sad. And the way she's like, it's not true, it's not true. There's like, he's lying.
And he was like,
she sees it, but then she's in denial, and then she starts going through all those stages, all the like the anger and then the sadness and all that stuff. And like that one chapter that's like 40 pages long.
That's another thing I noticed that I didn't realize before, because I'm one of those people that I can't stop in the middle of a chapter. But like, the chapters are incredibly long in this book. Like, some of them are short, but some of them are like, they're
30 pages or 40 pages.
You're like, what the hell? But yeah.
I forgot what I was gonna say. It was something with the end. What were you were talking about, Chelsea? Like, I totally forgot how that whole entire scene went down at the end with Luke and Alaric and Jace.
Yeah.
All that going down, where they were just trying to get Claire's mom and leave, and then like Valentine went through that portal, but then he like shattered it, and like, I don't know, I totally forgot about like all of that going on. Or oh my gosh, or where Valentine almost, like, he was going to kill Luke because Luke was down, and then Clary got in the way, and she like made eye contact with Valentine, like, he is about to bring that sword down on me. And Jace like stepped in to make sure he didn't actually kill her. But then Valentine's like, oh, ha, I wouldn't really hurt your sister, Jace. And I was like, bullshit. Like, he was about to kill her.
Yeah, I would.
I totally forgot about all like that whole scene, and so I loved reading that.
We have a question.
Ooh, yay!
It says, "Hey
Oh.
ladies, I actually have a question for you all. How do you all feel about the fact that these books were a failed film adaptation, and now with the Shadowhunters TV show, if it ends up being successful, should they try and reboot the film franchise?"
I'm gonna say right now that I like the movie, much, much better than the TV show still at this point. I'm hoping the TV show gets better still. We're hoping. I don't even want to talk about
Oh, and
it.
that was by Steve, the lawn gnome.
Yeah.
Thank you for your question. I'm
Yeah,
upset about it. I wish they never would have even touched it at all now.
like, okay, I'm on the more positive side of it. I can see it could go great, but like it's still I wish they would start back up
We're
the film
speechless.
franchise of it because I like the movie better. I don't like the actors, like the people they selected looks wise for them better. But now I'm liking movie Jace better than I am liking
Oh,
TV
yeah.
Jace because
Yeah.
like the way that movie Jace was, like he was a lot more formal about certain things and a lot more like witty with his delivery of
And
his
the
lines.
dialogue in the movie is dialogue straight from the book. And
Yeah,
the
yeah.
TV series
They
dialogue
pull
is
like one
absolute
line an
shit.
episode.
They don't
Like,
even get through the entire line, like how Emma was talking about. It's like the Shadowhunters, they leave out the since what was it, 1234. They like get to that point and then they leave off the rest of the quote. And they
yeah, and I mean, just take some stuff from the book. Like we're fans of the book watching this TV show. Like it's not like we're gonna be upset that you're taking lines from it. Like we want the lines taken
That's
from
what
it.
we want.
Like yeah. I feel like they're just trying to make it their own and not use stuff from the book or something, but they need to take dialogue from the book directly because the dialogue is just flopping.
If it means
Oh, yeah.
that the TV show is considered a success and that means they would reboot the film, I would totally say yes, go for it.
Yeah.
I think they would do a better job because the film actually wasn't that far off from the first book. Like there was a lot of
it's
it, and I was
just the
like,
end.
oh, yeah, the end was a little janky, but
They just kind of went off. Yeah, they just kind of went off at the end, but like, I definitely feel like if they did a reboot of the film and they did a film again, I would be down for that.
I'd be down for it.
Yeah. I don't really know how I feel because I feel like even just having a second adaptation, it's getting tired, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
third time's the charm.
Yeah.
True. I mean, but then again, if you're thinking of it getting tired, then we're getting like how many new series in this world? We have the Mortal Instruments, we have the Infernal Devices, we have
The Dark Artifices.
yeah, and like, and doesn't she have like 2 more she's going to be supposedly doing? So
I think like 3 more.
Yeah, she's
and
doing
then
a
there's
lot.
like all the little companion, like the Shadowhunters Codex and stuff like that.
Yeah, and the Shadowhunter
And
Academy novellas are coming out soon.
Yep.
So I'm excited for that.
So it's like, are we really going to be that tired of it? Shadowhunter fans. I mean, we might get tired of people butchering our stuff, but
Yeah, that's more of what I meant. That's
Yeah.
more
Yeah,
what
I
meant,
definitely
'cause-
don't want them
yeah.
to go past the Mortal Instruments. Like, try this TV show with Mortal Instruments. If they did a reboot, that would be cool. But, like, after that, like, I feel like they should stop. And I don't feel like they should touch the Infernal Devices or any of the other new series. Like, don't even go there and ruin them. Just
I wonder though, like if like they'll go back in the TV show, if they'll go back and like touch on things. You know how like within the Mortal Instruments, there's kind of little like touches on it. You know how like sometimes when they go to explain stuff, they'll do like a flashback. If they'll do it back to the Infernal Devices or something like that, I don't really.
Yeah, they would definitely have to.
Read those yet, but
Yeah, they would definitely have to do that for if they ever get the TV show to the last book, because they would definitely have to like have some Infernal Devices people in there. But I don't know how this works because Emma pointed out in one of her videos that like you didn't think about it because there's 6 books, but she said that the books take place really over like a couple of months. It's like almost a year or something, and that really made me like think about how they're gonna do that with the TV show.
I was thinking about that too.
Chopping that out, or they're gonna get old looking.
I was thinking about that too as I was reading this morning because I was like, I was thinking about the timeline. I was like, no, wait, hold on, about the timeline. Because Simon mentioned something about going to school. I was like, they're never in effing school. Like, where, like, what is going on? Like, I thought about it. I was like, they're never going to be in school. Like, is this just over the summer? Like, what's the...
Yeah, and she's like 15, 16, right?
Yeah.
She's 16, 15? I don't even know, but, like, I thought about that, too, when Emma mentioned that. And we keep saying Emma, and I'm pretty sure you guys all know, but we're talking about Emma from Emma Books because, I don't know, for me, she's like the queen of the Mortal Instruments series.
Yeah,
so
basically. That's
who we're talking about.
Yeah. She's awesome. You guys should check her out. She's got great videos.
Little shout out.
Allie, you had all kinds of tabs in your book. Just flop open and start talking about one of them.
I have a bunch of tabs, too.
A lot of them were just, like, things that I found were interesting, like, just kind of like ironic, like
some of the
like
quotes
foreboding stuff to what's gonna come up. Like, okay, so whenever they're in Pandemonium and the blue-haired kid, the demon, he mentions, like, he's like, I could give you information. I know where Valentine is. What would have happened, because this is how my brain works, like, what would have happened if they would have been like, wait, what? And then they would have, like, waited and, like, got the information from him. Like, would this change it? Like, how substantial would this be, you know? But they're like, Valentine's dead, and so it's just complete, you know.
Oh, I have something to mention that, like, really caught me off guard. Like, I remember, like, Hodge ending up betraying them at the end, but I, like, got a lot more emotional about it this time. Like, I got really mad at him. Like, 'cause I remember the betrayal happening, but he really just handed them over, basically.
Yeah.
Like, the bird was actually Valentine's bird the whole time.
He's a freaking
letters back and forth, and then he just kind of, well, he didn't call him up, but he birded him up, and then Valentine's just in there, and he's like, oh, okay, like, I'm just gonna take it with me, peace, like, give me the cup, give me Jace, and, like, peaced out, and, like, I thought that was, I was like, what, Hodge?
Yeah. Yeah, the betrayal was a lot more intense, I feel like, because you're just like, seriously, because you know, like, how much that affects later on, like, since you remember, like, or since you've read it all, since you know what happens, like, I feel like it intensifies that even more, because you're like, that's just even more traumatizing now, because you know what the shit they're about to go through because of that.
Yeah. And I totally, like, forgot that, like, when he gets there, too, Valentine, like, totally ignores Clary. She's in that little, like, bubble, like, whatever thing, barrier.
She can't see her. She was in, like, a barrier. She couldn't be seen.
Oh, he couldn't see her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought, like, she could be, like, talking to him and he saw her. Because I was getting really confused. I'm like, why does he not even, like, oh, that looks like she might be my daughter. Okay, that makes sense now. I kind of missed that part then.
Also, something I wanted to point out, too, and, like, because I don't know if you guys have noticed, like, in the TV show, Isabel is, like, super, like, friendly towards Clary, which is weird, because I thought in the book, I was like, I feel like maybe I'm just wrong or I'm imagining this weird, but I thought Isabel kind of hated Clary. Like, she was kind of rude to her. And, like, one of the first things she says to her is that she calls her a stupid little Mundy girl. I'm like, oh, yeah, she didn't like her. I was like, yeah, this is... That makes sense.
Because in the TV show, like, one of the first things is she's, like, giving her that, like, pep talk, like, yeah. Like, just accept it, you can do it, sort of thing.
And then, like, in the last episode, she's like, she's great, isn't she? I'm like, no, you don't think that. It's not true.
Or it's not true to you yet.
But it's kind of nice, though, in a way, because I feel like in a lot of YA novels, girls can't be friends, and it makes me sad. I mean, eventually they become really close, but it's
Yeah.
just like, let's see, what else do I have tabbed? What do you have tabbed, Chelsea?
Well, I tabbed, it was like page 27. It's where Clary's mom is talking to Luke, and
I'm
Luke's
on
like,
that page!
yeah.
I
And
was
it's
just
like,
looking at that!
Clary isn't Jonathan, and it's like all of that,
Foreshadowing.
all of that.
I know. I was like, dang, because then she's like, you hear her, like she overhears her, and it's like, Bane. I've been calling him for the past 3 weeks, and like talking about
Yeah.
that. I was like, I didn't even like think about that. Whenever I first read through them, like I know I completely disregarded that. And I was like, that name's not gonna matter to me.
Yeah, because when we got to the end, we thought that the JC, the Jonathan, was Jace. We don't know. We don't know.
And then, like, the fact that she's like, what does my father have to do with this? Like, that's what her thought was. Because that's what she thought was in the box, like, that her mother was keeping. She thought it was her dad's, like, hair and stuff like that.
Yeah. And, you know, when you think about it, why in the world would a grown woman keep a lock of hair from a grown man?
Hey, you never know. Some people I mean, you could be into voodoo shit, you know? You never know.
It's for Dorothea.
Oh, I have something that was. It was in the movie, actually, and I found out really wasn't in the book.
Mm.
But I'm kind of sad because I thought it was cool that it was a cool part of the movie. And that was like, yes, Jace plays the piano in the book, but like
Yeah.
in the movie, they made his playing the piano a certain like box song that like brought out demons. And I remember him playing the piano in Dorothea's to get her to turn into that demon. And that doesn't actually happen in the book. And so that
I've
was kind of
forgotten about
like
that.
different. Because I was like, I love that. Because that was kind of cool from the movie.
That
I
was a kind
forgot
of
that
cool
was it.
addition. A lot of people thought that was like stupid. Well, like
Really?
the concept of that was cool, but then when when the camera panned up to a picture of Beethoven or Bach or whoever was like the famous pianist,
Mm-hmm.
and then there was like a little rune peeking up from under his little fluffy collar. That was like, okay, come on, no, that was stupid. But like the concept of it was cool.
That reminds me of like whenever you're playing like the Assassin's Creed games, like you go back and you find out like so and so was a Templar or something like that, and you're like, ooh. I just thought it was funny. Like that reminded me of that a little bit because it like is an alternate history or whatever, and it's silly, it's shenanigans.
What else
But
do
no,
you
like
mark?
I really enjoy rereading these books though, because I don't know. I feel like I get just as into them as I did the first time I read them,
Yeah.
and it makes me so happy.
I'm super pumped to continue to keep reading. I'm ready to get to like 4, 5, 6. Like,
Yes.
I'm ready. Because I'm pretty sure it is 5. That's my favorite. City of Lost Souls.
That's my favorite.
That's my favorite one. Besides, well, yeah, no, Heavenly Fire is definitely my favorite one, but I think City of Lost Souls is like right with it. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard. I don't know.
It is really hard to tell which one. I'm excited though because we're taking our time with them, so I feel like I can finally really like figure out which one's my favorite because I usually always just like crank through them and then I'm like, oh, I don't know which one was my favorite because I don't remember what happened. Like I know what happens in like 1 and 2 and 3 for the most part, but 4, 5, 6 they all just kind of blur together. Well, I know what happens in 6 because 6 was just like monumental. So
masterpiece.
Oh my god,
I blew through 6 so quickly that I don't remember half what happened. So
yeah.
You will find it even more of a masterpiece once we get through the Infernal Devices too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited because I know a lot of people who had already read them or whatever, they were like, they're so effing good. I'm so glad I read that. And they're like, I don't know, they made that connection between the two, and I'm like, I wish I had read them, but I haven't. So
I'm super excited too because the next series that is coming out, The Dark Artifices, is going to weave in again with like City of Heavenly Fire characters, and I'm just like I'm just so ready for it because Cassandra Clare just like weaves her plots together just ingeniously. Like I don't even know how she does it. Like, ugh.
She must have learned how to weave blankets or something because
just keep doing this. Weaving.
Something I found like absolutely hysterical though, and it was like when Clary's waking up in the infirmary in the institute, is like her dream talking about like she sees Luke standing on top of a pile of bones, Jace with white feathered wings sprouting out of his back, Isabel sitting naked with her whip curled around her like a net of gold rings. Like, what the actual fuck? I was like, out of all the things, like I completely forgot about that. And like Simon, she sees Simon with crosses burned into the palms of his hands. And I was like, ooh, that's foreshadowing for what happens.
Foreshadowing all of, well, besides Izzy being.
She's like, I didn't realize how shady Cassandra Clare was, and like how she just sprinkles her little bits of foreshadowing throughout the book.
Like, that's how you know that she knows her story too, because this is book 1 that she has foreshadowing that's in like 6 and stuff, and that just blows my mind that she. You know, it just weaves it. And then there's stuff in the Infernal Devices that still could tie back to this if you thought about it. Like, ugh.
Yeah. She planned this out really well. Like, she knew what she was doing.
The next series, too, it really, I don't know how.
Yeah, either.
I noticed, too, you know, there was a scene in the show where I can't remember, like, Clary accidentally, like, smacked into Izzy. Like, she did it in the book, too. I remember seeing it in the book. She, like, sat up after that scene.
Oh, yeah.
Smacked right into her, and Izzy was just like, ow. I didn't even realize that was in the book.
Yeah, it's so good.
And the freaking... The bird story that Jace tells, it still
I love that so much.
It still hurts my heart.
I had that one tagged because that's like my favorite part from this because I just love Jace. Jace is my favorite character.
Yeah.
And I love that part of him because yes, he's like the snarkiness and he has like he's kind of really sarcastic and stuff and like serious sometimes, but like he has that like vulnerable side to him too, and that like really showed it. And I love that so much. That part.
He's incredibly loving, but you just gotta peel away the layers to see it.
He's like an onion, like Shrek. Sorry, I had to say it.
I knew you would say. Someone was gonna say that.
I had to. I couldn't help.
Did you guys
notice?
One
of my favorite quotes too. Like Chelsea, do you know what page that is? The like to love is to be destroyed. But he says something before that too. But like that's one of my favorite.
Yeah, that the boy never cried again, and he never forgot what he learned. That to love is to destroy, and that to be loved is to be the one destroyed.
There we go. To be loved is the one to be destroyed. I can't remember the rest of it. Oh, I love that quote.
Yeah. Oh, did you guys notice?
So heart-wrenching. Sorry, Steve.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. I noticed on, I think it's page 287, and she has that vision of like the most important rune that she uses like the very end of the series for something super important. She's thinking of it right now. It's popping up into her brain on page 287.
Right now.
It is happening.
It's like fluorescent orange. Like, that's important.
Important shit. Remember this.
That's where, like, I always tell people that have said that they stopped at City of Bones, where I'm like, you have to just keep going. Like, first of all, I don't understand how you didn't enjoy it, but okay, if you didn't enjoy it, like, keep going. Like, it gets
How do you stop? Why do you stop? Like, I really don't understand this.
Allie's face. You're just like, why?
Like,
It's personally hurting me. Why?
I don't understand. I really don't, though. Like,
Yeah, I know.
when I read them, like, I was like, I need the next book now. I mean, after this one, like, whenever they dropped the big bomb, I was like, no, this can't happen. Spoiled myself. I was like, I'm gonna keep trucking.
That's what a lot of people talk about, though, is the reason they stopped is they're like, ew, that's incest. And I'm like, shut the fuck up and keep reading it. Like, it makes me so angry because some people that have stopped, that's the reason that they give. And I'm like, even if you do think that that's kind of gross, like, they didn't do anything, you know what I mean? It's not like they just kissed.
Yeah.
And like,
hey, that happens in Star Wars. What the hell? Luke kisses Leia. If you got a problem with that, then...
When people give that excuse for stopping City of Bones, that's the one that makes me angry.
Yeah.
But, I just had an idea come to my head, because we've kind of, like, discussed a lot and answered the questions so far that we've had. But I feel like we should, like, try to pick who out of us three, what character we are in the book.
We pick for each other?
So, yeah, so let's kind of contemplate, because I'm not quite sure yet. Like, I'll pick who I think you and Chelsea are, and then, like, you guys do the same thing.
Okay.
I don't know. This is hard.
So,
it's hard.
It's hard.
Because I feel like you guys are a mixture of certain characters.
Yeah.
I know. I kind of. Ooh, yeah, there is kind of a mixture. How about we kind of give the mixture then, if there's a mixture?
Because, like, I see a little bit, like, personality-wise of Chelsea kind of like Simon a little bit. Like,
I think Chelsea has Simon and Clary. And Allie, you are a little bit of Simon with, who did I just say? Izzy. You're like Izzy Simon together person.
I'm the sissy baby.
Yes!
But Chelsea, I get the Clary thing for you because you're artistic and you do the painting and drawing stuff, and your paintings and drawings are good, and you just have that like you have that family spirit gung ho like she has. I feel like, yeah,
I do.
But you have
No,
Simon
you really do.
because you come in with the most perfect, witty, funny banter all the time. So you have that part of Simon, and then Allie has Izzy's sass, like. Yeah. So that is why Allie is part Izzy. But then
and I gotta
also
for
turned from being sassy to like super dorky, so that's why I said Simon. Because she's like she's both.
Yeah, no, I can see that. Okay, Megan though. You're the hard one.
Yeah.
I see a little bit of Isabel.
Yeah.
I can see that, like, but then it's like I can see a little bit of Jace too.
You're very like driven and methodical, and I think Jace is like that too.
So like an Izzy and Jace combination.
That's what I was thinking too.
I'm down. I can do that.
I'm surprised none of us are like Alec in a way.
I did think of Alec for you for a second, Allie, but I don't know why. Maybe because you can be, like, mean to you.
Yes.
we never see you mean. I just have to take your word for it.
Oh, I'm awful.
So you're the grump part of Alec.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really am. I so am. That's why on the Throne of Glass quiz I got Kale, because I'm grumpy. I need to, like, film whenever I'm grumpy. Like, I need to have Jake, like, film me so you guys can see me, like, how I am. And how I'm grumpy.
Every time you talk about that, I picture that grumpy cat.
Oh, that's me.
And I can just see you just...
Oh, you guys should have seen me yesterday. Afterwards, I'll have to tell you a story because I was something else yesterday. But But no, I like that. I feel like those fit us very well. Like,
Yeah.
I
Do
can
you,
see it.
Allie, did you agree with when I said that Chelsea has like a little bit of Clary's like artistic side?
Yeah, I see
It-
that. Well, and like the fact that she's very creative with her writing and stuff like that, and she thinks of descriptions differently. Like whenever we've read her work and everything like that, I'm like, oh my God, like why
It's
can't
so
I think
good.
of stuff like that? And like writing is an art form in itself, too. So
Yes,
see that.
I can do it.
Yeah.
She picks up details that I feel like I don't pick up. So, like in the book, like she caught that about Dorothea, and I was like, "What the? How did I miss that?"
Yeah. She would send me things throughout too of her reading, and I'm like, how did you pick up on that?
I guess I'm not like a
Yeah.
dedicated enough reader. Like I'm a fast reader, so I miss things. I don't know. I'm ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, I miss things too. Like, it took me 3 reads through Twilight to realize that Alice had short hair. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She was always my favorite.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
I wanted to be her. But no, I feel like those are awesome descriptions. No, I really do feel like Clary and Simon are perfect for Chelsea because
Yeah. Yeah.
yay! Chelsea, we both have some Simon in us.
There is this description that Cassie used for Alec on page 296. She said,
Okay.
Alec sitting on the windowsill and looking like a thundercloud, scowled as the door shut behind her. And I'm like,
I love that.
oh my God, I love it so much. Looking like a thundercloud. I just picture him just sitting there like,
I remember
Grumpy.
that quote whenever I first read through it. I remember that. I was like, dang, he really just doesn't like her. But that's like, and I hated that when I first read through them. That is one thing, like going back to the question of like people we didn't like. I hated that about him. Like he actually aggravated me because he just was so negative towards her. And I was like, dude, just get with the program. She's here to stay. You can't get rid of her. She's gonna stay. She's one of you. And like that drove me nuts, but now that like I'm thinking about it, like and in the TV show, that's my favorite part is because he's grumpy towards her. Because that's like the most true to like the original story. Like I feel like it's giving right now. At least they got Alec right.
yeah.
What?
At least they got Alec right because that's the most important part at this point now.
Oh, going off of that, this has nothing to do with the Mortal Instruments, but I just want to mention it really quickly that I started the Shannara Chronicles last night and got all the way through. And, like, come on now. Like, can we just talk about that everybody that's read those books said that they're terrible and boring, and they get a badass TV show? The series can't get its adaptation right? Why?
I wish that either MTV would have picked up the Mortal Instruments
Yeah.
or the CW, I feel like would have done a good job.
CW is really good.
I know a lot of people, and I haven't read them, said the Vampire Diaries books weren't that great, but the TV show is great. Also, CW, The 100. I've heard the book is awful, but yet the TV show. By the way, Chelsea, watched episode 2 last night. Holy crap! You figure out why her hair's not red. And
that's my biggest problem. Why is her hair red?
I think it's blood. Like she ends up getting like dunked in some water, and it's like blonde again. And he's like, "There you are," and you're like, "What?" but yeah, that like is flipping awesome. That TV show is so freaking good, and it's like, why couldn't they have picked it up?
Right, and they get the shitty ones amazing. I don't know. Maybe the Shannara Chronicles is good, though. I just heard it's kind of like Tolkien-esque writing. Like, it's very descriptive.
Yeah, no, it is. Harry Brooks is a writer like that.
It could be amazing still. I'm really interested to maybe get the books because I really am liking this, like, the story and the world of it. Like,
yeah, no, I am too.
Really
I want to get the books. Maybe we could do that for a read along on here. If anybody's interested in that, comment and let us know.
Oh my god. Yeah, let's talk about what we talked about
The next
next
read-along.
year.
Yeah.
I get to carry the beard.
We want to do a Lord of the Rings read-along, but we're going to spread them out so you get 2 months for each book, just since they are a little more dense in their writing and etc., so that you have plenty of time to get through them. And Allie's, it'll be her husband then.
Yeah, he'll be my husband.
He's
Oh my God.
He's going to join us. I don't know if you had decided if he's going to be in the live shows yet, but
Yeah, he said he'll do it. He'll do whatever I want him to
okay.
do.
Yay! So that'll be cool. So maybe next year we can do like the Shannara Chronicles too. We can do the book that the series is based on and do it over like 2 months or something. Since it's huge, we could do it over like 2 months again or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
So
I think
next year will be.
I love that.
Next year will be our like super.
Steve's down with
yay! Steve's down.
He's down.
Yay, Steve! That would be awesome. And then you could do some fun videos on that because he's a great person to have like for the movie side of stuff, especially because his reviews on movies are awesome. So.
Yes. So.
Yay! That would be so cool. Yeah, I think that would be a great read along to do because I'm excited about Lord of the Rings. And I know Jake is because I mentioned it to him. He's like, "Oh man, I'd totally be down to be part of that," and like is all over it. And then if we did the Shannara Chronicles, that'd be really cool. I think we should do like the main trilogy, the one that the TV show is based off of, and then if we feel like we can branch out to like the prequel ones or whatever.
Yeah,
and then
that's what I'm saying. Like that main book though, not the prequel.
I have like one of the books. I got it given to me. It's like the 7th book released for that series. I was like, what am I supposed to do with this? It's really great.
Okay, so now that we kind of talked about those little announcements, do we just want to remind everybody that we're going to read City of Ashes next month for February. And even if you didn't read City of Bones yet, you can still join in. If you don't want to reread the whole series and you just want to reread your favorite, you can just join us for whichever month is your favorite book. But definitely join us because it'll be a lot of fun. And
join in the live shows. They're fun. We answer questions. We might play some games too coming up.
Ooh, games.
I think we should play some games.
Yeah, I think we should play some games too.
Well, when is it? What's the date that I'm coming to see you, Megan? 12th? No, never mind. I was gonna say if it's at the end of the month, we could do the live show together there. We might have to do a live show while we're there or something, or while I'm there.
In the middle of the month.
Yeah.
Okay, so do we just kind of want to
wrap it up?
All up with? I definitely gave it 5 out of 5 stars again because.
Yep, me too.
I'm not even finished, but I give it 5 out of 5 stars again. But I'm gonna keep reading it. I'm gonna finish it up. And then I'll start on City of Ashes because I know I'm gonna be like, I need to know what happens, even though I know what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to do your little...
Yeah, sure. Thank you guys for joining us. We had a blast. Thank you for the questions, guys, especially Steve. Thank you for talking with us while we were chatting it up about City of Bones. And thank you for everybody who's read along, and we look forward to reading City of Ashes with you guys this next month. Comment any questions you have for even City of Ashes. You guys can go ahead and start bringing comments on down in the comment area of the video. So again, thank you for watching. We loved having you guys. We love doing this, and hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Bye, guys. Bye. Kisses.